is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Well, welcome into the LeGrand Cantina's Tuesday Coaches Show, which we have each and every Tuesday at 6 p.m. We want you to join us. We're in the back room. It's kind of that private room where you can actually book it for birthdays, anniversaries, hail and farewells. You got Christmas coming up right around the corner. I know you don't want to think about that. Here it is October, but we're still talking about how you can reserve this room for your special party and occasion. An authentic menu from the Mexican recipes handed down from generation to generation is what you can receive on the menu. And then also they've got the modern versions. So you have both to choose from if you want traditional, authentic Mexican or the modern taste of, or what you would say Tex-Mex kind of. You can get both opportunities to do that at the LeGrand Cantina. So we are here to talk Coaches Show with 6 players, 6 coaches, representing between all of our 3 Lawton schools, Cache, Elgin, and Walters. So those you have the 6 schools that are going to be represented today, and we're already halfway past that halfway mark of the football season. So we know that it's slowly disappearing in front of our eyes, and pretty soon, in a week or two, we're going to start talking about district matchups that have playoff contention as far as that ranking is concerned, and so that's a pretty special time too. So we got a lot to talk about and a lot of teams to talk with. Also, you want to remember that LeGrand Cantina is available for takeout as well. If you want to be able to take it and go, you're welcome to do that. But join us each and every Tuesday here at 6 p.m. The Cache Bulldogs, hey, their first win of the season. We are excited to talk about that. A good showdown from Friday night, and we'll do that right after this timeout right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Delicious Mexican cuisine? Head to La Gran Cantina at the west entrance of Central Plaza. We're open late, serving up handcrafted drinks and authentic Mexican dishes. Enjoy daily happy hour from 6 p.m. until closing time. La Gran Cantina. We're the perfect spot for both lunch and dinner.
All right, back at the LeGrand Cantina, I want you to just kind of scoot down just a little bit because we're going to get our last player down there out of the camera shot, and I don't want that. You don't want to have a half a player. We got to get the full dose. All right, the Cache Bulldogs, first on the slate of our Coaches Show at LeGrand Cantina here in Central Mall. You can come see us, be a part of it. There's plenty of room. We got parents from the Cache fan base. Appreciate that, bringing their fan base. And Coach, is this where you can say, oh, take that sigh of relief? You get that first win of the season, hard earned. You had others that you had opportunities with, but how is it feeling with this one to finally get that monkey off your back, so to speak?
It's always good to have some success, especially for these guys. They work so hard. The biggest thing is we still, I was a little frustrated at halftime specifically because we just weren't executing the way we should have. And then the second half we come out and, our offensive line, they played their butts off second half. And we did some really good things, and the defense played really, really well. So we finally finished the game. We didn't start the way I wanted to, but we definitely finished.
Well, outside of a kickoff return to start, that's a pretty good way to start.
Yeah, yeah.
So give us a little glimpse of your halftime chat speech. What does that sound like? How do you try to, with the frustrations, how do you get that point across?
Oh, it was definitely intense. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I was pretty.
You got their attention
for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
For sure.
All right. I got you. So how would you like to improve going forward? We're knee-deep in the district. You talk about halfway through the season, 3 of those are non-district games, but you're in the heart of your district now. So going forward, still looking, to plug in some pieces. You're a new first-time head coach. You've been on the staff. You've been defensive coordinator. So what are you seeing that you like, and then how you can improve going forward?
One thing that I really like is where our defense is going. Coach Gibson has done a really, really good job with that. We kind of evolved to the strengths of some of our players, and I think we showed that last week, and I think we had a really good game defensively. Offensively is where we got to get it going, and the biggest thing that I told our kids is, we started out, we didn't have the spring to develop our new offense that we're running like everybody else had. And then, after week 1, we had injuries. So we didn't get the first 3 games to kind of get the kinks out and kind of develop it and get it to where we wanted it to be. So now I feel like with our quarterback kind of getting back healthy, I think we can get back to some things we want to do and be able to help us move the ball and finish drives when we need to.
Well, each team's going to have that. This is the time of the year where you're going to see injuries and players that are coming back. How are you health-wise overall for the team?
Oh, yeah. This is the second week, actually third week that we're actually have everybody back. So, that's
that's a refreshing thing. Yeah,
for sure. That in itself is that's exciting. So.
Well, and then give us a breakdown this week, X's and O's of what you anticipate for this week's matchup.
Right. Weatherford's a really good team. They have some really good skilled guys. And it starts with, they have C.J. Nixon, who's a Division I player. But on the offensive side of the ball, they're a heavy run team, and they're going to run the football. And then, obviously, they're going to throw it up to him when they need something and play action. And so the biggest thing is in the secondary, just making sure we stay over the top of him and not letting him have any big plays. And then, stopping the road up front. And then offensively, they're a 3-3 stack team. They have some really good linebackers. And so we got to do a good job of getting to the second level. And if our offensive line will come off the ball like they did the second half against Woodward, I think we'll be able to run the football. And then the biggest thing, we got to get some bigger plays on the edge to help us out in that aspect and in the passing game.
Now you're a defensive guy, and so you kind of know a little bit of those formations. How often do you still see you still hear it mentioned, you just mentioned it here, what they run with a 3-3 stack. How many defenses are running that in your district, do you think?
It's kind of gone back and forth. That's something we went to because we didn't have the interior defensive lineman that we needed to kind of clog gaps and play 2 gaps. So we were slanting it on the move, and so this year we've kind of adapted because I think we got some defensive ends that are doing really good, and then we have a little bit less depth at linebacker. So I think it changes here and there. Clinton's always going to run what Clinton runs, but I think the teams in our district do a good job of adapting and run the defense that really fits their kids.
Yeah. Well, you had your homecoming, but now we're going to have a little bit longer of a bus ride, I guess, to make up for that. Anything special that you kind of prepare for those kind of bus rides?
Not really. We get our kids – we do meetings before we leave, and then we get our kids some snacks and just try to tell them, hey, let's relax. And,
chill out for a little bit. Put the headset on, take a nap,
these kids,
sleep.
They have their you can
routine.
You can download Netflix and all these shows and watch them on the bus. They got it pretty good, better than I did. But
yeah, you're not kidding. I mean, what do you do? The only thing you had was a Walkman or sleep, if you had one of those.
So when we get up there, we just kind of get in our pregame routine, and we've kind of this year. I think one thing that I like that we do is we push everything back. So we're not out there for an hour and a half and wearing the kids out. So we go get what we need to get done, and then we get off the field and get rested and get ready to go for the kickoff.
All right. So you got some players with you. So first one, grab the mic. Tell us your grade, what position you play, and give us your name.
I'm a junior. My name is Case Hardlock, and I'm a linebacker and tight end.
All right. So how has this ride been as far as your junior year? How has it been? So especially after this first win of the season, how was it coming off the field on homecoming with a special night like that?
It was good. I feel like it really started off shaky, but then we worked through the kinks. Defensively, we stepped up and kind of just proved that we can really stop the run, and then we can play the pass we need. But Yeah, it just felt good to get our first win.
Now, are you the field general? I mean, are you taking the calls in and then getting everybody in the positions that they need to be?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you like shouldering that responsibility? Are you okay with that?
I mean, it's pretty heavy, but
you get an intense, chat, at halftime there from Coach there.
Yes, sir.
So what did you want to come into, and you're just a junior yet, so you still have some areas that you'd like to improve on as linebacker. What would it be, and what would you like to get better at?
I feel like it'd really be my ability to maybe read a play a little bit better, having bigger vision while being there, and then I guess speed.
Yeah, well, and speed, that's a little bit, you're either gifted with it or you really got to work hard with it. The other aspect of it, how do you think you can get better in that first area that you said about being better at that?
I think it's just film, watching a lot of film, seeing how they break down.
Well, and I gotta call on you. There's guys that watch film with the team. Okay, everybody's got to do that. How much do you do after the team's watched it on your own?
At least 30 minutes.
Really? Okay. All right. So that's pretty good. A little extra stuff. And so, what have you seen for Weatherford this week that you're going to have to really key on?
I've seen they will use their quarterback. If their run starts to shut down a little bit, they will use their quarterback power to try and drive it down.
Do you really put a spy on him, or no? You just run the basic defense and just kind of know where he's at?
Just run the defense and see
the
the mesh.
All right.
See how it's working.
What's your favorite food?
Steak.
Steak. How do you like it cooked?
Medium rare.
All right, you're a good man. We always kind of tease. There's some people that like my wife, by the other hand, she likes it on the opposite end. I mean, it's got to be sacrificed for her to eat it. And I said that's usually goes to the trash, but it's to each their own. What's your favorite subject in school?
Math.
Math, man. We've had more math answers this year than I think I've ever had. What do you like about math? Just comes naturally for you, or what?
Yeah, and the teachers kind of.
No, it's good to have a good teacher. All right. I won't ask you about, future because you're only a junior, but seniors, you like what that math would take you, but maybe those numbers will get you somewhere there.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right. Well, you can give the microphone next to your cohort there and give us your name and your grade and what position you play.
My name's Braxton Jackson. I'm a junior, and I play offensive and defensive line.
All right. Do you like one over the other?
Not really. Just kind of.
How conditioned do you have to be to play both sides of the ball with as many snaps as you see?
A lot. First game was definitely a little rough in the conditioning department.
I bet so. I mean, because you can't replicate game speed to practice. There's practice, and then that goes right out the window for it. Let's give you your routine you're going to get on the bus for Weatherford. What do you do during that time during the trip? What is your game preparation on the road?
On the trip, I'm probably trying to take maybe a 30, 45-minute nap.
Yeah.
Just trying to think about my plays, maybe watch film on the way up there.
Yeah.
Just try to relax.
How fun has this season been so far?
It's been a lot of fun. It's been a little rocky, but
yeah, I mean, you've got to go through that with the transitions and stuff like that. But, you got a tough district and tough opponents. So what is your favorite subject in school?
Definitely math.
Oh man, and that was my worst subject, Coach. I'm sorry. I really struggled. So hats off to you. If you like math and you're good at math, that's good. I had two sons. They had no struggles with it. That was just my Achilles. Okay. What's your favorite food?
Definitely steak.
All right. Again, and how do you like it prepared?
Medium rare.
All right. Okay. And then what are some of your hobbies? What do you like to do when you're not playing football?
When I'm not playing football, I like to hunt.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Like small game, big game, or anything? Anything. All right. So how does that conflict during football season is really hunting season? I know we got Coach from Walters over here the same way. I can kind of give him a nudge because he's got – how do you have one eye on this and one eye on that? I know it's a weekend kind of a thing, but, how do you kind of juggle that?
Yeah, I just try to get out there whenever I can.
Yeah. Okay, you got some land because everything is privately owned, so you got some connections of where you can hunt?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's always a good thing. All right. And what does it mean for you to be a Bulldog?
It means a lot. I mean, to wear the Cash Bulldog name and go out there and play every Friday night, it's everything. Yeah, and so especially that last crowd, homecoming crowd, good that you could get a great entertaining game, went down to it. I mean, it was really a tough fought battle, and you got your first one of the season. How is that to finally get that out of the way? It was amazing.
Yeah.
To run off that field and have a win.
That's good. That's good. The Cash Bulldogs, Coach Tanner Thompson, we appreciate that. We've got MacArthur in the house. We've got Walters and Elgin, and we'll also get to Lawton High and Eisenhower as well, with 6 schools at La Grande Cantina each and every Tuesday for our coaches show right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Craving delicious Mexican cuisine? Head to La Grande Cantina at the west entrance of Central Plaza. We're open late, serving up handcrafted drinks and authentic Mexican dishes. Enjoy daily happy hour from 6 p.m. until closing time. La Grande Cantina. We're the perfect spot for both lunch and dinner.
Want to take the stress out of your next remodel or building project? Comanche Home Center can deliver all the lumber, supplies, and tools right to you. When you're done, they'll pick up anything you don't use and give you credit towards your next project. Give Comanche Home Center a call today for a free estimate.
Here at Carpet One, we have a great selection of carpet, hardwood, vinyl, tile, laminate, and area rugs. With all this, you're sure to find exactly what you want for your home. Come browse our exclusive selection or give Carpet One at Comanche Home Center a call today for a free estimate.
All right, welcome back to La Grande Cantina inside the mall for our Tuesday Coach Show. Each and every Tuesday, 6 p.m., you can catch us on, just download our app. That's the easiest way that you can connect with us on Apple and Android devices by searching the Oklahoma Sports Network. Also on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV. For those who are watching on YouTube, thank you so much. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And on Facebook, for those who are watching there, give us a like, give us a follow, give us a share. That way you can always stay connected with us. We had volleyball last night between it was senior night for the Eisenhower Lady Eagles. They beat the Lawton High Lady Wolverines in 3 sets. And then we also have another volleyball impromptu tonight, which is going to be Altus, their senior night, hosting Elgin and the Lady Owls. So you can catch that on the Oklahoma Sports Network as well. So the MacArthur Highlanders come back after a bye week, get a little bit of a road trip up to the city and kind of know a little bit with the rundown of some of these teams in our district. And you kind of, talked about how Class and SAS was who you expected them to be. We talked to you earlier in my recorded coaches show, and I didn't know they had some adversity going on and off the field. You guys were represented that there was a young man that was taken. I think it was very classy that, you knew they were going to come out on their first play. They're going to take their helmets off, take a delay of game penalty, but I was really impressed that our guys took all their helmets off too in respect and honor for that young man and their family, and that was pretty cool. That was a way to start out the game, but other than that, what did you see that you liked from this past matchup?
Well, coming off a bye week, we just wanted to go out and look sharp and we still wanted to improve throughout that bye week and during the week of Class and SAS and go out and play good and look good. It was one of those games that it's I think these guys, Josh and Avon on offense, I think they only got 10 plays before we were winning 42 to nothing, and it just it's a shame that any program's in that situation, and it's kind of hard to say that we got a whole lot of good out of it, but we did go and did what we were supposed to do. We looked good, we played hard, and got our guys out early and so got away, without any injuries. So that's what's important.
We have a credit to them, like you said. They're 22 kids that still come out and play. Even though they know what they have to face each week. You and I kind of talked a little bit before the game, actually at the field, that I thought was an interesting conversation that you and I will have no control over. But I thought it was a great suggestion, and maybe they can get together and work this out. But you and I thought, if all of the inner city schools between Oklahoma City and Tulsa form their own district, and there's enough teams to do that, you almost like to see that happen for them, because then that way they really have something to play for, for that kind of pride and see what that could happen. But, that's an idea, an opportunity that maybe someone could take the ball and run.
Yeah, and there's a lot to that. There's a lot more that people don't think about, that would be involved in doing something like that. But, it's unfortunate that their programs are in the state that they're in.
Okay, so now this week opponent, the Duncan Demons, we're going to talk a little bit about this in the fact that there's a lot of new in our district, so we're going to talk about Newcastle. We don't know them as a program. We've not seen them. Midwest City we've had for a couple of years, but not a long history of. And then Bishop McGuinness is only talked about if you ever have a playoff matchup, and that's not very often that we see them. So that's all new, but this is historically, and especially you as a player, you as a coach, this goes back a ways with the Duncan Demons. So before we break down X's and O's, let's talk a little bit about that history.
Yeah, I just, Mike Moore does a record book for us, runs it every year and keeps it up to date. And I started looking through it last Friday, and the first meeting between Duncan and MacArthur was in 1974. And we have played every year since then, and even in the playoffs a couple times. So there's been a couple years that we've played twice. So very familiar opponent, very good rivalry, very fun game for us. And being on the east side of Lawton, we always kind of joke that even when we play in Duncan,
it's almost a home game.
It's almost a home game because we're
right down the road.
It takes about the same amount of time to get to Cameron as it does to get to Duncan. So. It's a program that's had a lot of success throughout their history, and it's just it's a good rivalry.
Okay, so let's break down X's and O's and what you have to do for a win on Friday. What do they bring, and what are they going to bring in for your homecoming at Cameron?
Well, probably their best player is their quarterback. He's very athletic. He's very fast. He's a track guy who's placing at the state track meet, and he's a good player. Throws the ball well. And we're going to have to do a good job of keeping him in the pocket and not letting him get outside and run around, because he makes a lot of plays when he gets out of the pocket, and staying in coverage when he's doing that and not letting him get that scramble drill thing going. They do pretty well. So going to have to definitely control the quarterback and play good defense in the secondary and try to keep him in the pocket. Offensively, they do a couple of different things. We've seen some different defenses. They've run a 3-3 stack. They've run a
3-3 stack. Okay, all right. Yep.
They also have run a kind of a 4-3 also. So it's one of those deals we're just kind of practicing for the ones that we don't see very often. I feel like we practice against a 3-2 and a 4-2 all the time, and we can adjust to that if we need to. So we're spending most of our time on the 4-3 and the 3-3.
And here's something that we have not talked about, and I don't think we'll talk about it this year, that you had to practice and rep was the flex bone. I mean, we had some years where we were having 2 or 3 of those matchups a year, and you say, well, we got to get ready for seeing this because we're going to see it quite a bit, but not this year then.
I don't know if there's any 5A teams
running that
it anymore.
Yeah.
So I think there was one year that maybe 4 of our opponents were flex bone.
Yeah, I know. You had Altus, you had Ardmore. It's like, typical. This is what you're going to see. Okay. Yeah. All right. So homecoming this week, kind of an exciting week, or for a coach, a nightmare. Which one is it?
Neither. I don't know. I just
you just tell them to say, okay, this is what you told me earlier: is keep the stuff that's in the school, and then come out to practice.
I'll just stay in my lane.
Yeah, that's good. And they take care of all the rest. All right. Okay, so I'm going to have a little fun with these 3. Saw them grow up in a hurry as sophomores last year. Number 2, number 3, number 6. And I've never labeled this before, but I'm going to label you the triplets. But I had a little bet with Coach that I said, okay, now for those who are older, old school guys, how many old school guys here that know the Dallas Cowboys and the triplets? Now, if I asked these parents who that would be, they would have an answer. So I asked you 3. I'm going to call you the triplets, but that's an honor. You got to remember that the Dallas Cowboys won many Super Bowls with their triplets: Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, and Emmitt Smith. So we have you 3 that do your damage, and we're going to start with you, Josh Rushing, I guess, as a junior coming into this season. How have you and Avon locked on as far as like the deep ball? Because I know that's a timing route. Do you think that's coming together a little bit more? And if it doesn't, is it his fault or yours fault?
No, we're getting it together. After kind of the first game, we just kind of we stayed after practice for extra 20 minutes and stuff, just getting that timing down, building the chemistry up. Because over that summer, we don't throw the ball. It's just straight workouts, getting conditioned, getting in shape and stuff. So really, after that first week, we realized that we needed to work on it, and we just kind of got back to work, got back to the grind.
Okay, and then what did you want to come into this year to improve at wide receiver?
To improve at wide receiver?
Yeah.
Probably just taking a higher step and just, like, the mental part of it. Like reading defenses, seeing what they're in, like seeing if they're in cover two, seeing if the linebacker's going to drop under my route, just seeing stuff like that so I can read the defense better.
How much do you I know plays are called in, okay, and that's settled, but how often do you kind of give Avon a little look to say, okay, I know this is the play call, but you can go to me on this one?
Coach, that's a Coach Manning thing. A lot.
A lot? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're
all I say is it better work.
Yeah, it better work.
I'm going to be mad if it doesn't.
He says as long as it works. It hasn't been a time that hasn't worked.
Okay, all right. But what gets you that confidence? Is it because you're a defender or what they're running? What makes you campaign to Avon about that?
I don't know. If I just see something, I'll be like, Avon, throw it out here.
I'm going to ask Avon about how comfortable he feels about how many, because he's got Bo DeLong, he's got other guys that want that ball too. So.
Sometimes there'll be like a DB pressed up, and I'll be like, forget about it, still throw it. Sometimes he does.
Okay, that's pretty sweet. What is your favorite food?
Probably chicken.
Okay, and what do you like to do when you're not playing football?
Fish, play video games.
Okay,
that's about it.
What kind of fishing do you fish for?
Bass.
Bass, okay. You go to farm ponds or lakes?
Farm ponds.
Farm ponds. You got a good connection of someone that's got – always love those that someone's got stock that, hey, no one ever fishes it. What's the biggest bass you ever caught?
6.4.
Wow. Is it mounted?
No.
Oh, catch and release, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You got a picture of it, though?
Yes, I do.
Okay, that's good. That's good. You got to have something to remember that because no one's going to believe you,
No, I got it.
Okay. Get the mic down. I guess we'll go to you can introduce yourself, but go give us your name, grade, and what position you're in.
My name's Avon Lawton. I'm in the 11th grade, and I'm the quarterback.
Yeah, okay, quarterback for a junior. How has this season been for you? Last year was kind of back and forth between you sharing reps as a sophomore with a senior, but now this was your position this year. How has that been going that you've owned it? Have you taken ownership of that now?
Yes, sir, I have. I mean, it's a little tiring not having a backup, but over the summer I got used to it. I'm really liking it.
Okay. What is your connection with you receiving core, but especially this campaigner over here?
I mean, I got a lot of great receivers, but me and Josh had that connection since our freshman year.
Yeah. Well, and it was good that you guys collectively, you're all in the same grade. You have that experience. Elgin's talked about that too with their group of seniors, to have that many reps. You've kind of out-repped a lot of your competition just because of the years that you guys have spent together. What about that thing about after that game, that 0-week game that you say that you really wanted to connect up, that you spent extra time after practice on your own to make that connection hit?
Well, yeah, I mean – Josh is a great route runner. I wasn't connecting with a lot of my passes, but he gave me a good talking to after the game.
Oh, okay.
And we got in the lab, and I got my stuff together. So.
That's good. That's good. So he can talk to you like that. That must mean a great connection with your relationship. But is he the number one campaigner in the huddle, so to speak, to say, give me the ball? I know Coach has this play, and, we got some, great run plays too, but is he, out of all the other receivers, is he the one that's wanted the most?
Yes, sir. He really wants the ball a lot. I mean, sometimes I have to.
Well, at least it's honest. Do you have to temper that a little bit? Say, okay, I'll come to you, but just hold on.
Yeah, yes, sir, I do.
Because I know that Pushki probably doesn't like that, right? About when.
He
does.
Whatever works.
Whatever works. Okay. Well, let's not do backyard football quite yet. There's still some strategy behind that. What is your favorite food?
Chicken Alfredo.
All right. Where's the best place to get it?
I'll probably say Olive Garden.
Okay. And what do you like to do when you're not playing football? What kind of hobbies you got?
I don't really do much. I like playing video games. I just hang out with my friends.
Okay. What's the number one video game on your player? What do you like?
I want to answer that question.
Madden or NCAA? Why not?
Fortnite.
Oh, Fortnite. Okay. All right. They're all laughing. Hey, I don't, I'm old school, so they'd be really laughing at what I got. Okay. So you play in the football stuff? Online with your friend, like NCAA or Madden?
Not really.
Like
I don't really play the game that much.
Okay. All right. Did you ever go bass fishing with him?
I think like one time. I didn't catch anything, though. I know that.
You just watched him, right?
I don't think he caught anything either. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Got one more to go. Number 3, give us your name, your position, and what grade you're in.
I'm Adam Austin. I'm in 11th grade, and I play strong safety.
Okay, so Adam, you got this was kind of first for me. I think last week's game in review, we had 2 defensive touchdowns to 1 offense. Our defense was almost outscoring our offense. You had 2 interceptions, and you had taken to the house. So what was that like?
It was great, but it was all set up by our D-line, giving them pressure and just me going to make a play.
All right. Well, what did you want to come into this season to better your craft? You'd already got the height measurements of what people are looking for what your position is, but what did you want to get better at?
Definitely having better eyes when I break on the ball and just getting on my breaks faster.
Okay. What is your favorite subject in school?
Definitely English.
English.
Yes, sir.
Wow, our first English. We've had a lot of math back to back, but English. What do you like about English so much?
I don't know. It just comes to me like
really.
Naturally. Yes, sir.
Wow, because usually a lot of people have to struggle for that. Do you have classmates that say, "Could you help me out with this paper? Could you help me out with that?"
Not anymore, but I used to.
Because English is tough,
yes, sir, it is.
And some of those English teachers are very precise,
Yes,
I'm going to give you an example of what my paper is. Incomplete sentence, misspelled word, fraction of a paragraph, didn't indent, and mine was a roadmap of stuff that had to be corrected. So good for you if you can do that. All right.
Yes,
so what excites you for the rest of the season as far as, you got some interesting games coming up with the opponents that we don't really know. You got one that you do, Midwest City, and I know you guys have lost the last 2 years to them. But then you got Newcastle and you got Bishop McGuinness. How does that make a schedule, because a lot of times a player will look at the schedule and say, well, I know this team, but we don't know a good portion of these teams. So how do you figure that out as a player?
Definitely just watching a lot of film and seeing what they like to do and just going out there and doing our thing in practice and then going into the game.
All right, and what does it mean for you to be a Highlander?
It feels everything. It's just great.
And you guys are part of that nucleus of juniors, and they're still kind of looking up to you, even though you're not the seniors, but you're kind of leaders taking on that role. What kind of advice do you give to underclassmen, like the freshman and sophomore class?
Just come in and work their tail off, after practice, working, summer working, everything like that. Watching film. Just working hard.
Being a part of what they want you to do, okay?
Yes,
so now the secret's out. If it works, they're going with it, okay? So whatever plays Coach has and Coach Bushke, we also know that there's something behind that line. So that explains a lot to me. On some of these plays, I'm going to go, who do I ask about this play call? Now I think I'm going to go straight to you guys and find out where that goes. I understand. Okay, we'll toe the line with it. I know you're not rebels, just kind of doing your own thing. So having fun with it, MacArthur Highlanders, and now the all-new, and you can call them that. We'll coin it the triplets there at MacArthur out of those 3 juniors joining us. We have the Walters Blue Devils, the Elgin Owls, in the house as well, and we'll talk to Lawton High and Eisenhower as our coaches show continues at La Grande Cantina right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Craving delicious Mexican cuisine? Head to La Grande Cantina at the west entrance of Central Plaza. We're open late, serving up handcrafted drinks and authentic Mexican dishes. Enjoy daily happy hour from 6 p.m. until closing time. La Grande Cantina. We're the perfect spot for both lunch and dinner.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
All right, back here at LeGrand Cantina here inside the mall, 6 p.m. each and every Tuesday, 6 area schools. We talk with coaches and players, all 3 Lawton schools, Cache, Elgin, and Walters. And so we want to have you join us in. We have some parents that have come and made the trip as well. You're welcome to do that. Somebody says, well, are we allowed to come? Yes, you're allowed to come and fill up this back banquet room that they've got. It's reserved for special occasions and parties. So if you've got a birthday, anniversary, hail and farewells, a Christmas party coming up, we'd like for you to join us, and you can just call and make reservations. So the Elgin Owls are up next, and Coach, congratulations on the run so far. And I say at this juncture, defining the season and going forward, because as I think every week I ask you the same kind of question is, how would you like to get better? Because we're all never satisfied. I don't care if you're the Kansas City Chiefs, who are just now 5-0 too. They're still looking to say, okay, everybody's gunning for us, and how can we get better? How would you still like to keep the train moving in the direction that you want to see?
That's why we do this. We practice it more than we ever play it, so we hang our hat on practice. This week we've got some stuff we want to install. So when you do that, you've got to be pretty focused in on both sides of the football. And I think that gives the kids something else to focus on in their part of the process and getting ready to play a football game. So I think that kind of ups our mental focus. And then hopefully, our goal is to go out and execute those things that we want to show. And when you can do that and you feel good about it, you go in Friday night and execute it, you feel good about putting things in that you want down the road. So, probably the mental aspect of it. Really proud of our production on both sides of the football so far. But our coaches do a great job each week of finding another thing that we can focus in on during practice, and something that'll be advantageous for us down the road.
Now, we asked coaches, Cache was on the reverse end. They had a lot of injuries early and getting kids back. How are you health-wise as a team collectively?
We've been really blessed to be healthy to this point. It's normal football stuff. We're taping a few more ankles, and that's part of it. But I like where we're at, and we've been fortunate enough to be in that position, so hopefully that stays the same. Yeah,
let's knock on a lot of wood there. Yeah, so who can stay healthiest the longest? You can, whether it's college or pro or, in the ranks that you have in the high school football. Before we break down Bridge Creek, and we'll talk a little bit about your opponent this week and a little bit of a road trip after your homecoming, I know, you have a special nucleus of seniors, and you've talked about, but I want to say as a coach, you had a young player last year with Lund that broke a school record in rushing, and that was incredible. Kind of did it that's juncture of the season last year. And now you have your quarterback who has now the Elgin school record for most passing touchdowns in a career, and he broke his brother's record, and we teased him a little bit. I know the family a little bit. I can get away with a little teasing there with Garrett's record that Trace was able to break. But you as a coach, to have those kind of players, it all comes down, the dust settles 5-10 years down the road. They're going to remember this class. So talk a little bit about that talent base that you've been able to work with.
Yeah, I don't think I appreciated it enough last year with the Matt Lund deal, and this one kind of hit home just because I actually did the math on Trace, and it's rough, but I've watched him take over probably 1,700 snaps for us.
Wow.
And that's a lot.
That's a lot.
And so I've told myself to do a good job of appreciating that, and obviously trusting our seniors, just from the experiences they've had. And but I thought that was really cool, and I thought it was a good moment for me to kind of stop and smell the roses on some things like that. Yeah.
Well, you tell that to your seniors, hey, this is going to be so fast. You got to take it in. And sometimes, it can get away from you on that. Okay. So with that, we're going to talk about this week's opponent. You had a great homecoming, and, that's good to get back in the confines of your place, and then you're on the road. And we've talked about this with other teams about having to play teams they're very unfamiliar with. And I had to ask you off mic before we came on. I said, well, I don't remember the last time when you guys were in 4A. I don't think Bridge Creek was there. And you said, no, I don't think they were. And so this is a brand new opponent. Only film is the only way you get to know them. So there's no history there. So what have you found about Bridge Creek, and what do you need to do for a win on Friday night?
Yeah, Bridge Creek's really well coached. They're going to kind of spread you out offensively and try to gain some numbers in the run game. But, man, they're well coached, and that's the first thing that popped out on film. And then defensively, they're gonna try to crowd the box a little bit, and then try to play a 3-high look is what we've seen. But and that they're going to make strides just because I can tell by the way they do things on the field. So they may not be there yet this year, but I can tell that they're doing things right and they're going to keep getting better. So as far as what we got to do is we've got to control the line of scrimmage, lean on our strengths, and I think that if we can do that, I think that we can have some success. But we got to make the trip. Last time we were on the road, we didn't make the trip very well to Woodward, came out slow, so that's another challenge that I'm going to put on our guys to come out fast and kind of set the tone.
Yeah, so are you say at this juncture now, because you're a little bit into the district, are you getting used to being back in the 4A where you once were before?
I think after we play Weatherford, I'll be back into it.
The Weatherford and the Clintons of the world. Yeah, you get okay, that's 4A, and then of course you finish out with the Cash Bulldogs at the end of the season. All right, well, good luck to you this week, Coach. Player, give us your name, what grade you're in, and what position you play.
Okay, I'm Braden McGyver. I play corner and wide receiver, and I'm a senior.
Okay, you got a cool name because there used to be a TV show called MacGyver. I'm sure, I don't know if you're ribbed on that. Do you have any MacGyver skills? Can you make anything out of a pocket knife and impress us here?
Nah, I don't got any of those skills.
None of those skill sets. All right, okay. So you're not that kind of a MacGyver. Okay, that's old school. It's kind of like saying the triplet. Do you know who the triplets were?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you did. You have a Dallas Cowboys fan in your family?
Yeah.
And who would that be?
Wait, what was the question?
The Dallas Cowboys fans in your family. Is it? Are you a fan or okay? All right.
It's me, my mom.
Okay.
My brothers.
All right.
My dad.
So you know the history then. You know what that means. I always jokingly said, and this was it's just because of an age thing. And us older people always talk about what we understand and what we know. And I remember it was at a FCA banquet, something that was a kickoff banquet, and the speaker was talking about the Dallas Cowboys, and he was talking about, remember when they won all these championships? And I looked across to someone next to me and I said, there's no students in here that remember this because they were not born yet. This is ancient history. In fact, my youngest son, who's a big OU Sooners fan, and they won in 2000, and this is 24, and all he has is, okay, what's been told to him. And I said, man, I lived that. Yeah. I remember that. So what was this, senior year? You talk about the specialness of this class. What makes this group of seniors so special?
They just worked their butts off, not going to lie. Antony, he's committed to Tennessee. He works hard in the weight room, on the field. So does Jace, going to Navy. And then you got Trace, obviously just broke the touchdown record.
Yeah.
And then you got Josh on the outside, younger brother of Michael Adesola.
Yes.
He's one hell of a player.
Yeah, and you got Myers coming in too. You got Ritzenmeyer, and then you got a brother, and then I was told that there's even a younger one down the line. So they just keep feeding the program. Chalmers going to love that. All right, so what is your favorite food?
Got to be the barbecue chicken from Pizza Corral. It's right off of 277.
Really? Oh, good plug for Pizza Corral. All right.
Here.
Okay, that's good. You can load up on that barbecue chicken. What is your hobbies? What do you like to do when you're not playing football?
When I'm not playing football, I usually just try and recover from practice, watch some shows, film.
Okay.
Of course.
What was homecoming like this year, especially after?
Homecoming, it was great. We beat Elk City 49-6.
No.
That was always great. We wanted to win by 50, but we couldn't do that.
Just 1 point shy of that, okay, to get that up as an opportunity. What does it mean for you to be an Owl?
It's just a standard. You got to uphold the standard every day in practice, every game. It's great, though.
What best piece of advice for an upcoming freshman would you give on your way out to say this is what you can expect from this program and this is what you need to do to be successful?
Hey, you just got to work hard in the weight room, on the field. Coaches will see that, and, they'll put you in if they think you're ready.
One of the things I was impressed with, I come in spring ball and sometimes I come over on the sidelines, is your circuit, your practice circuit. It's very quick, involved. It's next station up, and I don't really see a lot of lagging with it. I mean, it's pretty intense. Do you like that kind of practice methodology?
Yeah, I do. It makes us mentally tough. no walking on the field, of course.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, I noticed it wasn't like jog to the next station. I mean, it was here and now. And so Coach just said, he said, we practice more than we play. So, I mean, you guys put that in, and that's really important. One thing that I've always often used, and I'll use a Michael Jordan story real quick. Michael Jordan said, as a pro, as one of the best basketball players ever to play, how many people on his level at professional saw that played around in practice and they didn't take it seriously? And then it come game day, they wanted to turn it on. And you can't do that. He says your body can't respond to something that you never practiced. So he said, I practiced as hard as I could so that I could play the game. Isn't that interesting? You say, well, you're just going to play the game of football. But in order to play the game of football, you have to practice as hard and as intense. And you say, well, you're a professional. You're supposed to be doing that. You get paid to do that. But he said very few did it. So it's a difference between good, great, and legendary, a classic like that. So, well, good luck to you the rest of the way on the senior year. It's been a fun ride, and we love being tagged along with it.
Yep.
All right. Okay, the Elgin Owls, and they are on the road to Bridge Creek, and you can catch that game at 6:30. Well, we got the Walters Blue Devils. We got the Eisenhower Eagles in the house as we continue with our Coaches Show live right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Delicious Mexican cuisine? Head to La Gran Cantina at the west entrance of Central Plaza. We're open late, serving up handcrafted drinks and authentic Mexican dishes. Enjoy daily happy hour from 6 p.m. until closing time. La Gran Cantina. We're the perfect spot for both lunch and dinner.
The heart of Oklahoma, where your home isn't just a place, it's your peace. At Century Roofing, we understand the importance of protecting your peace. We're experts in roofing technology, techniques, and customer service because we care about Oklahoma and we care about you. At Century Roofing, we combine quality craftsmanship and exceptional service because your home deserves the best. Century Roofing, staying on guard for Oklahoma.
All right, back at La Gran Cantina here at our Coaches Show each and every Tuesday. You can come join us at 6 p.m. In fact, we talk football with our 6 area schools, all 3 Lawton schools, Cache, Elgin, and Walters. And the Walters Blue Devils up next with Coach Farron Griffith. And we want to thank you for making the trip. You guys you and Elgin and Cache, you got a little bit of a trek to get here, and so we appreciate the time and after your practice to come out here. And, well, you got back on that winning track. I know that we talked about having that good run, and maybe you were a little bit reading your own headlines as a team, and you kind of refocused that. But give us a breakdown of last week.
Well, we had really, really great practices, and, we had word of the week was enthusiasm last week, and I just kept challenging our kids to have enthusiasm through practice and carry it over into the game, and that was what they did. We came out really fired up Friday night against Hobart, and Hobart was a great football team. Probably the best opponent we've faced, outside of Christian Heritage, and we responded really well. I was excited the way we played. We played hard for 4 quarters, and kept our enthusiasm up, and hopefully we learned the lesson that you beat your opponents Monday through Thursday, and then Friday night's just kind of a formality if you take care of business during the week in practice. And that's what happened for us last week.
So your word of the week was enthusiasm. Did you think you got that out of them?
Absolutely. I felt like all week we were really enthusiastic, in our approach to everything we did. And like I said, I could see the look in the kids' eyes when we come out of the field house to take the field Friday night. And I thought, yeah, we're ready. Whenever I saw the way that they looked when we came out of the field house, so I knew that enthusiasm was there and that we could take care of business.
Is there a word of the week you could tell us of what this week is?
Responsibility.
Okay.
Is our word this week.
All right. Is there going to be one each week?
Each week.
Each week you pick a word. Okay.
We do a deal at that, and you saw this when I was coaching at Cache. We do a deal at the middle of practice where we gather the team up, and it's kind of a family together time, and we have a word of the week that is a leadership word, and one of our coaches talks on it every day, and then on Thursday we have a senior talk about it, and it's just really a good time, kind of to break up the monotony of practice, but also teach life lessons and life skills to these kids, and to hear not just me but other coaches, and we brought in our principal. I'm going to bring in our superintendent, other people in to talk about these things each week, and again, our job is not just to win football games, but to build young men into great characters and have great characters. So that's what we try to do with that.
Okay, when you say responsibility, is it like individual responsibility, collectively as a group, or all together? All together.
Again, we try to tie it into, each person on the team has responsibility to their teammates. They have responsibility to their school, to their community, and we try to relate it to them that throughout their life they're going to have responsibility to someone. They're going to get married someday. They're going to have responsibility to a wife, and when they have children, they're going to have responsibility to that family. And so, it is individually, but it's also collectively, and it's not just, again, for football. It's throughout life.
Talk about this week's opponent, how you get prepared for this week.
Well, Okima was a team that we really didn't know anything about until we watched film on Saturday, and I visited with some other coaches about them, and they've got some talent. Their running back is a very good running back. He runs really, really hard. They're scrappy. They're physical. They haven't had a lot of success. One of the things that concerns me is they're probably one of the most penalized teams I've ever played against.
Wow.
So, they kind of shoot themselves
all over the place, like holding.
Yes,
and
they get quite a few personal fouls. So I've been trying to talk to our kids about not getting tied up into that and falling into that.
Because they always see the second, they don't see the first.
That's exactly right. They always catch the person that retaliates. So that's one of the big emphasis this week. And the thing is, we learned our lesson with Christian Heritage. We can't drop our guard. We can't take anybody lightly. We're going to have to go and prepare every week and prepare for the best team possible. And that's what I told them. We don't need to be preparing for Okima. We need to be preparing for the championship team. And that's every week. They're a faceless opponent. We need to prepare for the best.
Unfamiliar as I am with Okima, where are they on the map?
Well, they're west of Shawnee, almost to Henrietta, north of Highway I-40. So, yeah, we've got a special, some things planned because we're going to have to leave early. It's a long road trip for us. Fortunately, we've got some supporters. Rockin' H is going to feed us. We're going to leave school a little early.
Very nice. Little stop in Temple. That's good.
Have a good lunch, and then we're going to hit the road, and we're going to stop at Carl Albert halfway there, and they're going to let us use their practice facility to kind of stretch our legs and break the trip up so that it's not just a long single bus ride. Well, and it's good to kind of break that trip up, and that's kind of our plans for Friday. So it's a long trip, but I think we're going to make it fun.
What did you have on the menu tonight? What did you have?
I always have the taquitos.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You say you're kind of a guy like me that when you find something, you like it, we're not changing. Now, for them, and I've asked them to do this to me, every week they give me something brand new because I want to talk about something and not just the same thing. What makes this why do you like it so much?
Well, I've always liked taquitos, and this is the only Mexican food place in Lawton that serves them.
So you're going to get your dose each and every Tuesday.
When I go somewhere else, I'll get something else. But here, I want to have what I like, and that's taquitos. So.
Okay, that's good. Hey, I want to say, too, got a little bit of hunting in the back of your mind? We were talking to Hunter there. You got some of that on the horizon, too?
Well, yeah, that's secondary at this time, and I've got a camera.
Because you got to juggle a wife,
you
got to juggle hunting and football, So yeah.
Well, it again, it's one of my passions, and I keep telling myself someday I'm going to be retired and I can spend all that time out there doing that. But
they say that about golf too, so I don't know if that really works out,
But right now, I'm looking at my hunting time will be coming in December. So
okay, I want to thank the Walters fan base too. We did a little highlight video. We were able to send my videographer out there, and we put that up. I think over 15,000 just in 2 formats alone. And I know that Cody Pennington, our play-by-play announcer, said, "Oh man," he said the Walters fan base are just going to eat this up, and it got shared and shared and shared. Somebody got to see because I wanted to see that that small town football feel of one of our classy programs on the network, and so I want to thank many of you who've watched that and taken a look at it and shared it with everybody else. So it's very good.
Yeah, that's the thing about the community there. They love the football team. They love the school. And again, it's just such a tight-knit community that, they're all family. And that's, us moving back there, the minute we moved back in, it was like rejoining the family again. It's like and that's the feel of that community. That's what I love about it so much. And like I said, my wife was telling me, she says, "You can't believe how many people are viewing this video."
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I think so, because the people there are really supportive, and they, like I said,
they care.
These are their kids. They love them and support them.
All right, let's get to some of your players that you brought as guests. Give us your name, position, and what grade you're in.
My name is Maverick Cook, and I'm a senior, and I play wide receiver and corner.
All right, I love the name Maverick. Any reason for why you were named that?
No, not really. Just
it's a very cool Western type name too. As Maverick.
Top Gun.
There you go. You got that too, a Top Gun reference. All right. What's the season been like so far for you?
It's been pretty good. It's been a grind, and just having to get harder and harder every day at working, and don't slow down and just keep going up.
Coach talked about breaking up the bus ride that you've got, a little bit of stops, for lunch, and then stretch the legs. What is your on-the-road routine? What do you like to do when you get on the bus?
I like to listen to my music and just focus and go through the situations and picture what's going to happen in the game.
Well, your teammates said sleep. Do you do a little bit of that too?
Me personally, I don't really sleep much.
Oh, really? Okay, all right. What kind of music is on your player right now? What's your top 5?
Probably just any rap.
Rap, really? Okay. Any particular artist that you like over the others?
Yeah, NLE Choppa.
Okay, all right. So there you go. Okay, and what do you like to do when you're not playing football? Give us some of your hobbies.
I like to go hunting a lot.
Okay, so another hunting thing. And you get in that small game, big game, or just kind of anything?
Anywhere from birds to deer.
Yeah, okay. So all the way to run the gamut. What's the largest deer you harvested?
The largest I've had is an 8-point, but I've seen some bigger ones, and I'm waiting for it.
Really? You have a taxidermy, the 8 that you got? Up
yeah.
on the wall?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So you want one bigger than that?
Yes, sir.
You'll have to compete with this guy. He's got some pretty good little trophies there. He'll have to show you on his little. I'm sure he's got pictures of it. We've seen him on social media. If you haven't, so it's good bragging points because mine was an 8. That's the largest I got. I'm originally from Michigan, and I don't get to hunt as much here. The busyness of the seasons as they are. His coach says he has to wait till December, so to think about that. All right, and what's your favorite food?
Chicken fried steak.
All right, where's the best place to get a chicken fried steak?
Rockin' H.
Okay, all right, that's pretty good. And that's where you're going for lunch too. That's pretty good. We were just there this past weekend. And what is your favorite subject in school?
Math.
Math, another mathematician. Huh? I give credit to you guys. I'm glad that you like it. I'm glad you're good at it. All right, player next to you, give us your name, your grade, and what position you play.
My name's John Jones. I'm a senior, and I'm a running back.
All right, so with this senior season, reflect back about how special this run has been. I mean, the bar of expectation started last year. You made the playoff run. And, okay, Walters, let's take a look at those Walters Blue Devils. Now, he can tell you history when he first came around of where that program was, and then he's come back and had that success. What's it like to be in a year like that?
Well, I believe it's a great opportunity for us to,
no, it's okay. Just kind of tell us about how special this year has been.
Well, it's been great because I feel like we're better than last year, in my opinion. As a team, we're closer together.
Can add to it, okay. How do you want to get better skilled at running back position?
Just being able to read the defense and find the hole.
Okay, are you kind of one that kind of sees that little crease, and then an immediate cutback? Or are you a bruiser, or are you a kind of what kind of running style do you give us?
I'm a bruiser.
Okay, you're a 3rd down and 1, and we know what coach is calling, right? Yeah. Okay, all right. You need to get me your yard. So if he says get me that yard, you got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. What about this week's opponent? What have you seen on them, since you don't really know them that well, except for seeing on film?
I just know that they're a pretty dirty team, like to
going to have
Get
to watch out whether they're saying it or doing it. You know, you just got to go straight back to the huddle and
we just gotta not respond to what they're doing.
Yeah, that's hard to do when you're in the heat of competition like that. You know, but you got to do what you got to do. What is your bus ride routine when it comes to be a long road trip? What do you do?
I usually try to sleep most of the way there.
Yeah, you're the one that sleeps. Yeah, that's okay. What's your favorite food?
Some enchiladas.
Enchiladas, all right. And what do you like to do when you're not playing football?
I play video games.
Okay. Any particular favorite that you like?
Just Call of Duty.
Okay, Call of Duty. All right. There's one that's didn't they make a movie off that?
I don't know.
I think that thing has been around for so long. They do other stuff with it, so it's like it never ends. Okay, and what does it mean for you to be a Blue Devil?
I mean, it's really important to me, especially coming from Temple where, you know, there wasn't very much of a structure for football.
Right. Yeah.
And coming to Walters, it really helped.
Yeah. So, and what do you see yourself doing after graduation? What do you want to do after this is all said and done?
I'm either, unless I get like a scholarship for like a sport, I'm gonna go to college.
Okay.
But if I don't, then I'm probably gonna end up going to the Army.
Okay, so it could even be the Army. All right, so great opportunity there. Walters Blue Devils on the road for a little bit of a long road trip, and you can catch that right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Got the Eisenhower Eagles going to talk about their win against Southmore, and we got the next opponent up on the schedule. We'll talk to them next right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Craving delicious Mexican cuisine? Head to La Gran Cantina at the west entrance of Central Plaza. We're open late, serving up handcrafted drinks and authentic Mexican dishes. Enjoy daily happy hour from 6 p.m. until closing time. La Gran Cantina. We're the perfect spot for both lunch and dinner.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
All right, back here at La Gran Cantina, it is our Tuesday Coaches Show, 6 p.m., where we talk 6 area schools, coaches, and players from the 3 Lawton schools, Cache, Elgin, and Walters. And so Eisenhower Eagles up next. Coach Javon Harris, and we're going to talk a little bit about a win. Got to like that, man. There's nothing better than a W there.
Nothing better than it, right?
Especially on homecoming and everything else falling
Yes,
into
sir.
place. So
Most
in
definitely.
front of your hometown crowd, and you saw Sherry Sheridan made a little highlight reel there. So I know it's good to have him back
Yes,
because
sir.
he's been out of commission for a while. So we talked about some teams that are okay. We're getting some of those players back. Some have remained healthy. It's really important to stay healthy throughout seasons
Yes, sir.
like this.
Yes, sir. And I think kind of when we looked at our schedule, we kind of knew how it was set up, and it kind of works out for our favor because we get that bye week. You roll into one. You got the Stillwater game, which is another heavy game right after that Carlisle. But after that, it kind of rolls. I wouldn't say down, but we got a couple more weeks so we can start gaining some guys back. So we got Siri back, got Shy rolling a little bit better, and I mean, them guys had a really good game last week.
How would you like to get better still as a team as you really get into this really heavy district play?
I think the one thing that we've talked about is just staying consistent or consistently getting better each week. Just finding the things that we can get better at and the little things that we can get better at as a group, and just continue to fight, man. I think that's the best part for us. We just want to keep getting better at the little things, get a lot more discipline. Right now, the biggest thing for us is actually figuring out how we can come out in the third quarter and sustain either a lead or just come out faster in the third quarter. So we're doing some things in practice where we can try to emulate that, going in and coming back out, and figuring out how we can start, stop, and then start again.
So coming off of the Southmore film, when you broke it down, what you like and what you thought that you could do a little bit better at, specifically after that game?
I mean, like I said, we started the first half off. It was great. We knew that our game plan was pretty good for those guys and what we were going to do. Everything was clicking early. They got us on a little zone read, caught us coming. We figured that. I figured, cause I'm the one calling the defense. I figured out the first 3 or 4 weeks that I think I got to put our guys, start heating it up a little bit more, get them guys in position to be a little bit more successful. So I liked where we were at. We just had to make some halftime adjustments. You got the homecoming deals. You got everything going on, outside factors that kind of seep into that, as well. And especially when you get a big lead like that early. Going in at halftime, you got the homecoming. I mean, Rashad won, homecoming king.
Yeah, congratulations. I saw that.
We had a lot of that going on, but we just kind of taking that and moving on. It's like, hey, guys, every game, everybody's going to go in at halftime. They're going to make adjustments, and you got to come back out fast. And you got to come back out and finish strong. So we're teaching our guys how to win, and I think that's something that goes along with going through district, learning your team as you work towards the playoffs, and as you continue to get to the play. You just one thing that Coach Zoe says at Lawton High that I really took on to was you want to be better week 10 than you were week 1.
Right.
And that kind of held with me, and it's something that I'm pushing up on our team as well. Let's be better each week, and let's be better at week 10 going into the playoffs than we are when we were starting to play district play.
So has this district, you went from 5A back to 6A, that's new for you. Is it really kind of shaping up how you predicted it to be? Kind of looking at from an overview before you started the season of how the district was going to lay out?
Yeah, most definitely. And funny part is last year we scrimmaged Putnam City.
Okay.
We saw a lot of these teams in 7-on-7 play and things like that this summer, which was kind of a good thing for us, just kind of hitting that 7-on-7 circuit. We saw a lot of the 6A2 teams that we're seeing either on the east side of the state or over here. So it wasn't our first time seeing these teams. So I think that's good for us. But it is matching up about, what we thought. We match up pretty well with these teams. Obviously, we're really young, but as far as size, speed, athleticism, things like that, we fit with a bunch of the 6A2 teams.
Got a Putnam City matchup for this week, so tell us a little bit about what you've seen and what you need for a win on Friday.
They're really good in the trenches. They normally have some really good D linemen. They got a few good D linemen out there right now. Offensively, they got some size. They've played 2 quarterbacks, so we're just going to see which one they want to roll with and just not let them be great right now. And that's kind of our game plan. Let's clean our game up. We play again, take that first half of football, and it was good for us to say from the Southmore film, this is what we want to look like, this is what we don't want to look like. So it was glad it was a half and a half that you can work on and play 4 full quarters. I think if we play our game, we can come out with a win.
Well, the other thing is, too, is road games. And Elgin talked about it, how they went and took their first road game after being home, and it really didn't come out to be like they wanted it to, so they got to make those adjustments. How has the road been and affected you and your team?
We've traveled pretty well. Like I said, I think for us, we went to Stillwater.
Long bus ride.
Bus ride. We did the deal where we stopped halfway, got out, stretched, did a little walkthrough, finished out, got back on the road, got out there with a little bit of time to kind of sit around. So only thing we'll change this time is we won't do the stop in the middle. We'll just go straight to Putnam City. But get there in time to be able to get off the bus, relax a little bit, and then get our pregame and stuff going. So it's I tell these guys, man, it's a business trip. We'll travel that way. We'll travel like we got a game like we're going right down the road to Cameron and respect the team that we're playing. But, we got to go steal one. And that's kind of the main the attitude right now is go on the road. It's a business trip. And I'm a big believer in taking the show on the road. Take that same deal and just take the show on the road. Let's go to work and see how we turn out, and let's go steal one.
Well, from time to time, we also bring in your OU connection, be a former alum, and this is a big week, and
yes,
all the talk. And first time that the Sooners have been underdog by 2 touchdowns, 14 points, and they won last year when they weren't expected to win either. And you got an undefeated and a one with only 1 loss, and after that Auburn. So I know it's special, you as a player, because everybody talks about that OU Texas as a player. But how do you see that game?
Oh man. My Sooners, man, they're about doing me like my team, and we just go like this, up and down, up and down. So, man,
who's going to show up?
Man,
right?
Yeah, exactly, man. Which, to me, I think it's a team that fights. So and
got a pretty good defense. At least they're going to
so
keep you in the game.
Keep you in the game, playing really good defense. And the other part about it is, man, you know, when I'm looking at these guys, just looking at the game from the outside looking in, it's like it's going to be a good game. I tell my guys, man, you Texas game, I couldn't tell you who's going to win the game because it's just crazy. You know, it's a surreal feeling. And unless you've been in that hallway and you know, coming out that walkway. It's just different, man.
Well, and I've only been to one, and I really recommend anybody do it. It's got to be a bucket list because you say, well, I've been to college football games. I've been to pro games, but you've never been to an OU Texas game. And
yes, sir.
I'll tell you what, if you're in the OU red and you give it and you receive, so you give all the accolades and everything else when you do something well, and then when you're silent, they're giving it back to you. And the only game that I was at was the Kyler Murray almost come from behind win, and Dicker, the kicker, kicks the field goal at the very end to win it. But they were down 3 scores, and you know, some people were kind of making their way to the exits, and then it was only down by 2 scores. And then by the time that we were down to 1, they didn't leave. They just were over there getting snacks or something. They were in the fairgrounds. They came straight back in. It was packed, you know.
Man.
So,
and matter of fact, I remember that one, my best one, or a couple of them. So I played in the ones where we cleared out the Texas side, and you know, been there with the year Colt McCoy was a senior, and we had Sam Brevard. They hurt Sam, and then they ended up winning. But man, it was it's always crazy because you just never know how the game is gonna go. You got 3 touchdown scores down, and coming back. I mean, I've seen it go both ways, man. But man, really good football. I think college football in a whole right now is just
isn't it great, the parody of that? All the teams that have lost, from Alabama losing to Vanderbilt, and you just pick them in Michigan losing, and it's just the parody. And everybody that talked about the cream of the crop, now it's kind of like everybody. And you know, this is the greatest year to do it because now that playoff is opened up with, okay, now you're telling us with 1 loss that we're still having a chance. You know, I love that.
That's
so
it. Yes,
you
sir.
got all the teams that can make that. All right, got some players with us. So grab the mic, give us your name, what grade and what position would you play?
My name is Tristan Swigert. I'm in the 12th grade. I don't know why I had to think about it. My bad.
That's all right.
I play running back and inside linebacker, although I'm trying to get transitioned everywhere around right now.
So you're a utility player. You know, coach plugs you in where needed.
Yeah.
You kind of like that because if you're well-versed in things, then you can be used like that. It's kind of a compliment to your skills that, you know, hey, you go where needed, right?
It means I'm good at too many things to be great at one.
Okay, well, I guess that's good enough. That's a good explanation for you. How did you want to make this team better? How did you want to get better at what you do?
Really, I just wanted to step it up in the locker room with the guys and everything. Like, before, it's really they just feared the now seniors. Like, it's never really been a matter of respect with how they looked at it. It's always been they're afraid of them. They don't do what they want. They just do whatever they're told because they're getting threatened or
right.
You know, it's.
So how are you leading the underclassmen now that you guys are seniors?
Now it's more like they look up to us because they see how we change whenever stuff is going on. Like whenever we face a problem, whenever we fight adversity or something throughout the game. Like halftime, we come back into the locker room. We have senior meetings. We come back out. We talk to the team.
Very good.
Yeah, everything goes on. You know, we try to figure out how to make everything good. But like. Sometimes people just don't always adapt to what it is that we try to change. And so instead of just like putting them down, we try to help them, lift them up, encourage them, make them try harder to get to where they want to be.
What's your favorite subject in school?
Varsity football weights.
All right, I like that. You know, it's right close to lunch. You know, it's like very, very nice. Okay, and what do you like to do when you're not playing football? What on your free time? Some of your hobbies?
I play basketball a lot, or I'm at home. Just laying in bed. I don't be at the house.
All right, just kind of chilling and relaxing. All right, okay. And what is your favorite food?
McDonald's.
All right. And what do you get at McDonald's? What's on the menu right there?
A large caramel frappe, add crushed Oreo, a number 7, but you got to make the frappe the drink.
Okay.
That way they only subcharge you $1.
Oh,
and
he's
they
got
don't try
this
to
down
make
to
it.
science.
Yeah,
Coach.
yeah, because they hit you with that 398 for
Okay.
medium.
What's the number 7?
It's two cheeseburgers.
Okay.
2 regular cheeseburgers, and then I get 2 hot and spicy McChickens.
Oh, and 2 hot and spicy McChickens.
Yeah.
All right, well, at least you got a figure for it. And I'll just tell you a recommendation. When your football days are over, don't continue on that menu because this is what you can look forward to is right here. All right? Because that metabolism slows down.
Yeah, I went from 150 starting summer to probably like 185.
Yeah, I understand. I
199
mean, eating that, that's putting away the groceries right there. But at least Coach is going to burn a little bit off of you. And you may have got some extra stairs to run now. He's going to take you down to Cameron now.
No.
Yeah.
Like I'm in shape. I'm healthy.
Okay, all
It's
right.
just not all muscle yet.
Yeah, okay. Working on it. All right. Got a guy next to you. Give us your name, your grade, and what position you play.
Brian Frears, class of 2027, kicker.
Kicker, another kicker. You got special kicking shoes that is totally different than everyone else?
Yeah, just soccer cleats.
Okay.
No football cleats.
Certain color at all?
Yeah, I'll alternate it. I'll wear my red ones sometimes, or sometimes I'll throw on my pink and purple ones.
Okay. Which one's your lucky shoes?
My game day ones are my red ones.
Okay. Anything with your routine? Because you always, kickers are, they're just kickers, and you have your own practice methodology. For the whole 2 hours, you're just over there, just kicking. You almost have to be self-motivated, right?
Yeah. So my routine I get out, team stretch. I kick with the team, just regular field goals, scoot back every time, and then after that, they start doing their own thing. I'll go kick a little bit more, and then I'll have some band work on my legs a little bit, stretch out.
So how many kicks do you think you make in an average practice? How many times have you think you kicked it?
Like how many times have I kicked the ball at practice?
In practice, yeah. How many times you think?
Probably like 25, 30.
Okay.
On some days.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Okay, Coach is getting close. We're in that range. If you ever watch college or football, they have a little marker right there, and that's always for the kicker. They say, okay, this is the kicker's range. What is your range that Coach is going to feel confident that you say it's going to be how many yards that you think you can kick it through? What would that be?
I'd say he'll feel comfortable 30 and in.
30 and in. Okay. What's it like to watch some of these kickers in the pros that are doing 60-yarders? And how can they do that? Before a 40-yard in the NFL, they always say, okay, there's a little bit of challenge with the 40. 50, oh, my. I mean, who's going to try a 50? And now they just don't even bat an eye doing 50s, and now they're trying 60s.
It just comes with hard work.
Yeah.
You just have to dedicate yourself to that, kick every day, work out. It just comes with hard work. If you're really determined to actually master the technique, because kicking, it's not just about kicking a ball. It comes with the technique you have to master. You have to master the timing with the snaps, the holder.
Yes, there's a lot to that. What is the most pressure on you, PATs or field goals?
Oh, field goals. PATs are just
automatic, huh?
PATs are just easy. It's like you kick more PATs in a game, so it's just like a muscle memory now. You just know what to do every time. Field goals, you don't get a lot of chance to do it in a game. Sometimes you'll get it, but yeah, field goals are way harder.
Do you have a routine of your setup? Do you have like 3 steps back, 2 steps to the right, stretch back? I mean, to walk us through your little ritual of what you do.
So I look at where my holder is going to place the ball. He tells me where he's going to place it. And then I'll put my left foot there, take back, start with my left foot, take 3 back, make sure my hips are aimed to the right position I want, and then I'll take 2 to the left. But it depends. If I'm on the right hash, I'll take very small left steps. If I'm on the left hash, they'll be a little bit bigger since I'm a right-footed kicker. So
okay.
And then I'll take my 3 steps to the left, and then my left foot would go in front, and every time I take off with my left. And I have to make sure my posture is good. Head down, keep my head down on the kick, chest up, shoulders up.
That's a lot to go through. Okay, how frustrating is it when you have, and there's always one, and it's not the same guy. We're setting up for the PAT, and there's someone missing on the line. Now, I don't know who calls that out, but someone does a count, and then they're going to say, hey, number whatever's not here, and all of a sudden you see them jogging out there, and that kind of messes up your routine, doesn't it?
Yeah, like if I'm gonna have to say it's always Mason, but
oh man, we don't want to call out the guy. All right,
but if I've already like taken my steps and I'm lined up,
but if this is your job and you just scored a touchdown, if I'm that guy, I'm saying I'm going in. Why does someone have to say, hey, man, you need to go in?
Yeah, I mean, it happens every game. But
okay, well, you know what? You're going to have to be next to him. You're going to have him by the hand. You're say, come on, we're going out there. You're going to have to take the initiative.
Yeah.
Because if you can't find him, I guess it's your job. I've just appointed you a new responsibility.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's okay. It's all in fun there. I like having a little fun with kickers because, you guys, there's a lot of pressure on there if you miss one, the PAT or the field goal. Who got you into kicking? How did this all start, and how young were you?
So my freshman year, I've only played soccer my whole life.
Okay.
I've been playing soccer since I was 2 years old.
All right.
I'd say midway through my freshman year, they had some problems with the old kicker. And my my algebra teacher at the time, Coach Rip, he told me to come out and kick one time. So I came out and tried it, and it was going pretty good. So I decided to join midway through the season my freshman year. And ever since, I've stick through it.
All right.
And now I've kind of like.
You liked it.
I fell in love with kicking. I
yeah,
like kicking.
I understand.
And I plan to go to college for it.
Okay, for
But
soccer?
No, for
kicking.
For kicking. I plan to go to college for
Okay.
kicking
All
in the
right.
future. But I mean, shout out to Coach Rip though. It was all because of him.
Well, you always got to recruit those soccer guys to be kickers, right, Coach? I mean, that's what they do automatically.
If Coach Rippey go to college football, man, he's gonna be a big time recruiter, man.
Okay, all right.
And we trust Brian, and he does a really good job. Man.
That's good.
He runs the whole room, man. So and we got a lot of competition at kicker. So.
All right, that's good.
Yes,
Putnam City is the opponent. 6:30 for the pregame, 7 o'clock for the kickoff. You can join us on the road. Boy, we've got a whole bunch of games for you on the network, and then fall break next week. So we're going to have a lot of Thursday matchups to talk about. So we'll close out as we'll continue on with our Coaches Show live at La Grande Cantina right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Craving delicious Mexican cuisine? Head to La Grande Cantina at the west entrance of Central Plaza. We're open late, serving up handcrafted drinks and authentic Mexican dishes. Enjoy daily happy hour from 6 p.m. until closing time. La Grande Cantina. We're the perfect spot for both lunch and dinner.
At Billingsley Ford, we pride ourselves on the integrity and transparency of our pricing. The price you see is the price you pay. As your hometown Ford dealer, that's the way it should be.
I'm Grant Billingsley, and that's the Billingsley way.
Bring home the win at Billingsley Hyundai with huge savings every day from our massive inventory of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Come by today and see how we can help find a winning deal for you with America's best warranty. Now that's the Billingsley way.
All right, back here at La Grande Cantina inside the mall, as we had 5 of our schools, the 6 with Lawton High, had the one last scheduling conflict where Coach had to go watch a junior high last of the season over in Duncan. So good luck with them. Congratulations on the Lawton High Wolverines on their win. Makes them 2-0 in district, tied for first place. And they've got Western Heights and the Jets coming up on Friday as well. So we want to thank all of our schools, the 3 Lawton schools, Cache, Elgin, and Walters. Each and every week you can come join us at La Grande Cantina. Oh, and by the way, brand new in Wichita Falls on Monday. So if you ever make the trip south, look up La Grande Cantina, whether it's in Lawton or Wichita Falls. Make sure you can ask about their reservation of this room that we're in each and every Tuesday. It's a special room where you can have it quiet and off of what the regular restaurant is. So it's private. You can close the door. You got birthdays, anniversaries, hail and farewells, any kind of celebration, or even Christmas Christmas parties, they can take care of you. An authentic Mexican restaurant with the great recipes that family have passed down to the other side of some of the modern likes. So if you like traditional Mexican, you like modern, you like taquitos like Coach from Walters, like Coach Griffin likes, only place in town you can get it. You can get meatballs. You can believe it or not. They're awesome in that protein bowl. So much to talk about if you've not experienced it. We had 2 parents come in tonight. They said, I've never been here before, and one got shrimp and steak, and I forget what the other one got on that back list. But it's a great opportunity for you to experience La Grande Cantina inside the mall. So don't forget, we got one game Thursday. We got volleyball going on right now. Altus and Elgin for Altus' senior night. So that's going on. And then tomorrow night we have got the coaches show in Altus at the Brew at Jackson Memorial Hospital. And then we've also got our football game for Thursday, and that's going to be Carl Albert and Noble. And all the rest of the slate is Friday. And we want to thank and congratulate another edition welcoming the brand new school to our network is the Bethany Broncos, and we had a great opportunity to see Bethany take on Blanchard in Blanchard, a tight, close game. You can go watch that on the network on demand and then get ready for their matchup with Tuttle. So we got Bethany on the network, 13 schools on the Oklahoma Sports Network, and we are proud that you can just download us on your Apple and Android devices. You can find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and on Facebook, you can like us there and follow us there as well, and growing. So you've been watching another Coach's Show this Tuesday here at La Grande Cantina. You've been watching a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.